The Mid-South's only Saturday morning wrestling program is right here on CPN 17, TAJJ Rewind. Log on to TAJJRewind.com for all the latest news and information. You get local wrestling talk every Saturday morning at 11:30. You get exclusive interviews, and Rodney Howard puts people in the hot seat during Adam Dunn and Randy Quetzwell Saturdays.
Hey, Adam, what's up? Hey, Randy, do you mind taking Rodney just take him on the tour real quick, show him all the new stuff that we got. I need you to test that mic for me.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
And we got some cameras spread out in some more areas. Just go check those for me. I'm gonna be back in the control room.
Okay, sir. I'll take him to the green room.
Okay.
Hey, the green room. The green room's right through here, right? All right, man. Thank you. But yeah, as you can tell, studio here to the green room. There's Studio A. Come on through here, and as you can tell, we actually have an on-air light right here that will kind of let you know when we're on the air, everything's going. We'll have a monitor set up for you to be able to check everything. And well, Rodney, I guess I'll just leave you back here with the other guest. The other guest is cool. Oh, this isn't going to be good.
Well, coming up on the show today, you just saw some footage. We were testing some stuff out earlier, and then it looks like you and Rodney ran into KC Gold out there.
Evidently, Rodney and KC Gold just didn't know they were going to be here. I have no idea why that could possibly have happened.
So on the show today, obviously, we will have KC Gold. We'll be talking about MAW. We will have Hot Rod Rodney Howard, who will be talking about TIWF, amongst other things. He will be putting KC Gold in the hot seat.
That's exactly right. He's going to take over my little segment and do the hot seat. And
what? They're at it again?
What are you doing
let's
here?
take a look. They're apparently back out there talking again.
On the show. What are you doing here?
High profile, you mean 6 inches?
No, dude, I'm 5'8".
Well, the reason that they want the Hot Rod here because the Hot Rod is the greatest announcer around.
No, well, Gordon Soley is dead.
I'm not even talking about that. The main thing I want to talk to you about is a TIWF. What you did was despicable. Throwing fire. Yeah, throwing fire. What's going on with that?
Well, you know, Hot Rod, remember the operative word around me is hot.
Okay, well, I guess we'll get to that. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have KC Gold. Oh, he's coming in right now. Let's take a break. Okay, fans, welcome back to TAJJ Rewind. Adam Dunn with Randy Cresswell, and you'll take a look now at who our guest is. KC Gold from Mid-South All-Star Wrestling is joining us on the program. KC, thank you for being here with us.
Not a problem, Adam. Just, you know, realize that, man, y'all, I would say you got me up, but hadn't been to bed yet.
Okay.
Well, I was going to ask you how you're doing. I mean, how was your experience getting up here and everything?
You know, getting up here is not a problem, man. It's just, you know, when you live the lifestyle of the front office with the girls and all the champions and everything else, you know, they say party like a rock star. We don't have to party like rock stars. We are rock stars.
Oh, there you go.
The first thing I want to do is people who may not be familiar with Mid-South All-Star Wrestling, why don't you tell us how that promotion began? Now, you're the lead guy of it.
Yeah, I'm the commissioner. I'm the guy that does all the booking and all that stuff. There is a committee that basically owns MAW, but a lot of the weight falls on me.
Because you're the commissioner.
Because I'm the commissioner.
Okay, tell us how that organization came to be.
Well, we started in the fall of 2002, I believe it was, at the backyard of the KA House at the University of Memphis, doing a charity show to help them raise money for their charity that they promote. We did that one show, came back right after the first of the year and decided, hey, we want to start our own promotion. So in January of that year, we went to the Old Daisy down on historic Beale Street and did our very first show, crowned our first champion. And then from there, it just kind of ballooned into 3 months later, we did another show. Over the course of about 6 or 8 months, we had a venue to run at, you know, bi-weekly, and we're running just constantly. So we went straight up the ladder.
Of course, with anybody who attends an MAW wrestling event at the New Daisy Theater, they will be able to tell that TAJJ Championship Wrestling talent, you started using that talent when TAJJ dissolved, which we'll get into momentarily. But what was your thoughts about TAJJ? How did you hear about it? And what was your first thought about TAJJ Championship Wrestling when you heard?
Well, some of the guys, when we started talking about running the promotion after the benefit show, some of the guys that we talked to about coming to MAW said, man, you need to go check out this small promotion. They got a bunch of young kids over here, but they got a lot of talent. It's just real raw. So, took it under advisement, went and saw some of the kids. A lot of potential, a lot of raw potential with a lot of the guys. Some good, some not so good, some, average. But with all of that rolling around, we saw the potential, and as you said, with the TAJJ doing the dissolve factor of time, money, and other things going on, the deal was kind of negotiated, and when TAJJ dissolved, we acquired basically all the talent in TAJJ.
Now that's something that I want to go into with you, and now a lot of people may not know exactly how that came about, and if people remember from when we aired the program, Randy, you were kind of in on the brokering of that deal, and you were at the New Daisy.
What's so funny? Well, no. Simply, what happened is the fact that during the time that TAJJ had moved from the Dunn Arena, to quote Hank Russell, got to give a shout out for Hank Russell, but when we moved from Dunn's Transmission to First Choice, and things were kind of just not the way they should have been when it came to it, and Carnage Antoine had been appointed the commissioner.
Right.
Therefore, he couldn't be at all the events. I became available, and therefore he tapped me to become the sub-commissioner, basically, the assistant commissioner. Well, once everything came to a point to where TAJJ was either going to sink or swim, basically, due to all the changes that were going on, I sat down with Casey Gold and the committee and decided that it was best if TAJJ found other means to move on. And obviously you were busy with so many other projects, and due to the fact that I was in that type of position, that's how everything ended up happening. We announced it, I believe, at the New Daisy. I came out and made the formal announcement to all the guys that were TAJJ Championship Wrestling about the dissolution into MAW, and actually some of the TAJJ championships were also brought over into the company for a short period of time.
Yeah, because at that time, the parent company, Memphis Mobile Media, we decided to go ahead and pursue some other avenues there, and that is when we pretty much decided to just put a hold on TAJJ Wrestling, and the deal was made at that point for KC Gold's company, MAW, to acquire its talent. Now, Casey, after that happened, what was y'all's first thought when you acquired all this new talent?
First thought was, we've got a lot of young guys here that have got potential. In the wrestling business, companies tend to build on the old. They build on the old stars. They don't build on up and coming guys.
I agree.
They don't start with a guy that just came from being trained and build him into the star that he's got the ability to be. Our goal at MAW was to do that. There are problems. You're going to have problems in all wrestling organizations. The biggest thing was some of them didn't like this, or they didn't like that, or they were used to the way that y'all did things. Right. We didn't do things exactly the same way. From there were some that fell by the wayside because they didn't have the drive and determination to take the opportunity given and get to the next level.
Okay, so now here we are, July 2007. It's been, almost 4 years, almost 5 years now, since the acquisition of all the TAJJ talent. Now, by now, I'm assuming everyone has kind of fell into place. So how?
Pretty much, yeah.
What does the face of MAW look like now, 5 years later?
Well, up until recently, the face looked a lot like it did then. The difference being the guys that had the ability and the potential made a lot of use of their potential and ability.
Okay.
There are guys that have come so far in such a short period of time, and there are guys that are still where they were 5 years ago. The guys who have stepped it up have taken championships, they've taken money, they've branched out and left the Memphis area. They've gone out and wrestled in Mississippi and Arkansas.
And even Marcus O'Neill has gone out to do IWA Mid-South, which we talked about on last month's edition.
You know, and Marcus is probably the one that has gone the farthest as far as travel-wise. Potential-wise, he was one of those guys that had a lot of potential.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot of names on your mind, and some of them might be called because it is actually time for us to go to break. And when we come back, our special guest host, Hot Rod Rodney Howard, will actually be here joining you. Me and Adam are going to step to the side.
We're going to leave because we saw the footage of you guys earlier out there arguing in the green room.
Now,
we don't want to be a part of it.
Let me say a little something here.
Okay.
I owe you one because this is the second time. The second time you've done this. You called me to wait. Just close. Look, just close your mouth for a second. Just close your mouth.
Oh, come on.
The deal here is that this is the second time you have called me to come do a show at a date 2 days beforehand. You know Rodney and I do not get along, and you do this on purpose every time. So what I'm telling you from now on, see, that's one of the reasons I know you. That's one of the reasons the girls aren't here today. They're gone. They're out by the pool, you know, getting a suntan, doing what they're supposed to be doing, you know, and the whole bit. You know, you wanted me to come because you wanted me to bring the girls. I know you, and so
I'm not gonna argue you.
So, that makes a lot of sense now.
But see, now I know Scotty, and I know how he is. And I know he's always got something up his sleeve, so that's why I left him at home today. And so the next time you call me to come do something like this, and I'm gonna do this thing, only because I'm already here, but I'm gonna do it. But the next time you call me, don't call me 2 days ahead of time, number one. And number two, if you've got him on the show, it ain't happening.
Well, you know, just next time, be wary. We do have a website, TAJJRewind.com, and his name was on there. I figured you would have looked. I mean, but then again,
convenient way out.
You're a busy man. You're a busy man. But you know what?
We're going to take a break
here.
And when we come back,
wait. Before you go to a break, you're plugging your website. You need to plug my website.
Mid-South AllStarWrestling.com. That's where you need to go to check out all the latest MAW information. We will include that in this.
And I'm gonna throw this out there just on a whim because it's something I'm working on.
Throw it.
And there's a show coming. It's an MAW event, and it's called the Memphis 10.
Okay.
Check out the website, and I'll give you a little more information when you want to get it.
Okay, fans, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will have Hot Rod Rodney Howard will put KC Gold in the hot seat. Stay tuned.
We'll be back.
Hey fans, this is Hot Rod here, and we're at TAJJ Rewind, and we have with us KC Gold. KC, we're gonna bury the hatchet for 1 minute here because you are in the hot seat.
Well, just remember, Rod, the one thing I told you before, when you're dealing with me, the operative word is hot.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to give you some names of some people, and I want you to give one-word description or one-sentence description of these people. Would you do that for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Today I will.
All right. The first person is crime. The crime.
The crime.
The crime.
Passion.
Passion. Sounds good, okay. What about Gabriel Stalker?
First word that comes to mind is persistent.
Persistent. Okay. I've got one. Chris Lex.
Can't do it in one word.
Well, give me a sentence. Can you do that?
Has made the greatest jump in potential and talent in the last 4 years.
And I certainly agree with that. I mean, we can agree with that one because he is a great athlete. The TFO.
TFO. Yeah, well, there's no way I can do one word on that one, so let me just say the most dominant force in any indie organization since the Four Horsemen.
Since the Four Horsemen, okay? We heard about TFO.
That's it, yeah. But,
Sounds
so you got a list over there, Hot Rod.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was on your list. See, I saw that show. And,
Right.
and you broke out, and the only word you could come up with for me was typical. What does typical mean? What does typical mean? That's what I want to know. That's your definition of typical. What's your definition of typical?
You are a typical commissioner.
A typical
You have
commissioner.
typical things. You have typical females. You have
there's nothing typical about
shows.
my
You have
females.
Typical things that are going on. It's typical.
Well, you know, I noticed that on that list of names that you've had so far, you haven't brought your name up to give me a chance to defend that.
Okay.
So you want to put your
Hot
name?
Rod. I'm putting my name in there. Hot Rod.
Less than typical.
Okay. What do you mean by less than typical?
I mean, you know, everybody says this is typical or that's typical. You don't even reach the typical standard.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. That's fine. We'll get that. I thought we were going to bury the hatchet, but that's all right. I have one last name for you. Derek King.
You know, Hot Rod, I did this as a favor. But that is off limits.
And we'll be back right after this. Derek King.
And welcome back, everybody, to TAJJ Rewind. I am Randy Cresswell here with Adam Dunn, and with us is Hot Rod Rodney Howard, and he is laughing like it's his birthday or something. Oh, man, what is this hostility between...
KC Gold just walked out on you. What happened?
I mentioned a name, I hit a nerve. But let me tell you about KC Gold. KC Gold may run MAW, but he is cheap. I worked for him for almost a year. Do you think I got paid anything? I got a nice little handshake. He did not pay me anything. He owes me money. That's one of the problems we have.
One of the problems, well, as much problems as you guys are having, is that the only problem? I mean, how deep does this thing run?
It's money. It has to do with my pocket. I like money. He promised me this lump sum.
Rodney, let's not forget about that little bitter, the very, very bitter commissioner's race you two had.
That's another thing.
I personally saw that with my own eyes. You were sitting right there next to me, and I was actually campaigning for KC Gold. I wasn't even campaigning for you because at that time you seemed to just had lost all touch with reality. Perfectly honest, you and me are good friends. We've had our bitter situations, and I feel that we can be honest with each other. And sure, yeah, I set KC Gold and you up to be here at the same time with.
Yeah, why would you do that to me?
Neither of y'all knowing that you're going to be.
Why would you do that? I thought we were friends.
We are friends, and it was time that you decided to vent your frustration towards KC Gold, which is why I gave you the opportunity to do the hot seat. And me and KC Gold may have our own differences and everything, but I mean, as he even said, he kind of expected this to happen. But to be perfectly honest, this all goes that money might be one thing, but the commissioner's race was completely different. And I remember you came out to some anthem. I can't even remember what it was. You seemed to just be so full of yourself on that one. You've corrected yourself.
A little bit.
I was asked, and I took advantage. There's a book that's out called Controversy Creates Cash. We created controversy in MAW because of that.
What happened here today?
Because of that. Look how far MAW went after that. And I had a little part of that.
I got a hammer against the head. Thank you, Lex. Thank you.
This is true, but he owes me money.
Yeah, it explains a lot, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Hammer to the head.
Money.
Hammer to the head.
But
Is there another hammer somewhere? Maybe we can knock
Oh,
you
no, we
back.
ain't doing that again. You have to do it perfectly. It has to bounce off the table and me ducking under it just to get hit.
Let me say this, and I will say this. I will say this on his behalf. KC Gold has done a lot with MAW. I mean, he has grown it from being backyard, as he mentioned, to what it is now, and I do give him his props with that, but he still owes me money.
Well, I mean, that's going to be something between you two, and that's going to be something that will probably never be rightfully taken care of on either end because of the fact that you two, obviously what we saw on the hot seat,
He owes me money.
definitely don't like each other whatsoever. But you know what? There was actually a benefit that happened, a benefit show you were telling me about. How did
there in
everything
Jackson.
go?
Oh, recently, yeah. Recently,
Recent. I'm through with the past. We're here with
Okay.
the present. Tell me what happened to this benefit show. How did everything work out?
Recently, we had a benefit show for Jimmy Starr, great manager around. I mean, it was great. A lot of wrestlers came through from all different areas, from Paducah, Kentucky, from down in Mississippi, everywhere, and it was really great. And one of the things that we do, a little bit different than other sports entertainers, we allow people to come in for an invitational. And this is the thing I want to talk about. We had a Jimmy Starr Invitational where the winner would get a TIWF title shot anywhere, anytime he chooses.
Pretty much like a Money in the Bank scenario for all the mainstream wrestling fans who watch WWE programming. But basically, it'd be Money in the Bank, cashing in anytime, get a TIWF heavyweight title shot.
Except we had people from other companies.
Okay, all
So
right.
it was like an open challenge.
It was an open challenge.
Oh, I would have known that. I would have been there and I would have won.
And the NBW champion, Kilo,
New Blood Wrestling out of Dyersburg,
out
Tennessee.
of Dyersburg, Tennessee. Kilo won the Money in the Bank.
So a heavyweight champion of another promotion has now the opportunity to, at any point in time, to challenge for the TIWF heavyweight championship.
That is true. It was awesome. It was awesome.
That's definitely going to be interesting. I wonder what the New Blood Wrestling promoters think of that.
I don't know. We don't really have a working relationship with them, but it came to pass. And
But they apparently have their eye on TIWF.
well, if you know the history, New Blood and TLC and several of those organizations came from TIWF.
Okay.
TIWF is over 25 years old. A lot
And
of the
it's just
wrestlers.
branched out under various different names.
Okay, you see, I don't think a lot of people know that, especially
Yeah,
people that are watching here in the TV17 viewing area.
Right, and I've learned a lot about the history of TIWF. TIWF branched into Georgia for a period of time.
Now, would some of this history be available on www.tiwf.org?
Yes, it is. Yes, some of the history is available on there. If you get a chance to do that, and check out the Hot Shot this week. I always have something great, and I'm going to have something great for the fans this week on the Hot Shot.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep checking this website called ProWrestlingNetwork.com. I keep waiting for the Hot Shot or the Voice Speaks to pop up on its message board, where you can also find TAJJ Rewind discussions. And I keep waiting for information to hit there too. So somebody could probably make my day.
I keep seeing more and more people join that forum, but they don't say anything.
Right, they need to say something.
From me talking with the Ransting, it seems that that's just a whole lot of bots, which
Wait,
is.
Ransing, are you here? Ransing?
Is he?
We're not going to have.
Is he back in the
I'll
course?
tell
Can we
you
have
what's
Ransing
gonna-
come in?
If y'all ever have Ransting on this program, you are not going to see me.
Man, Ransing's a good guy.
Ransing's not a good guy. Talk about somebody who owes you money.
Well, you know, he's also the webmaster of the TAJJ Rewind.
Don't remind me.
site.
I have to email that sucker every time there's an update that needs to be done. It goes from you to me to that guy.
Did everybody at home notice that we actually dug through the garbage and found this TAJJ wrestling sign?
Looks good. I like that.
Dug to the garbage, huh?
Yeah, I think it was in my storage unit or something.
I like that.
But yeah, I mean, it still has the staples in it from when we had it stapled to the felt.
I mean, y'all had.
remember that?
I remember seeing it. Obviously, I wasn't at the company at that time. At that point in time, I had moved on and started doing promotions with Rodney,
Right.
Traveling around extensively with him. But I remember watching the show, and I remember seeing y'all had maybe 4 or 5 signs.
You know, and something odd about those signs, most of those signs are like that are vinyl stickers. Those are actually hand-painted signs. The guy that painted the Dunn's Transmission painted those for us for free. That's actually, and the guy did it freehand.
And
we showed him what our logo looked like,
Which
and it was so cool. We saw him just take the brush and paint it. I mean, you see all the little breaks in the letters and everything. He painted it just like that freehand in like 5 minutes.
That's great.
And I believe it was Tony, wasn't it? Tony's the one who actually created the logo, if I remember correctly.
Tony Doe, if you remember, he wrestled under his Nagasaki and MC Tony D for a while. Yeah, he actually created it as well. And when we used to have the little, if you know, when you see the people holding the microphones and it says what you're watching, that's called a mic flag. And he made the TAJJ Wrestling mic flags. He actually printed them out and he got some cardboard and somehow taped it together and made the little mic flags for us.
I remember when he started out. I remember when he started out. Whatever happened to the guy who started out with him, that Magical Mystery Marvin? Whatever happened to him?
Magical Mystery Marvin.
Magical Mystery Marvin. Magical Mystery Marvin and Nagasaki had this great wrestling, classic.
Do you know we actually have that footage?
We do have it, and we are going to show it at some point.
Let's show a piece of that, yeah. That'd be hilarious.
Need to show a piece of that.
Actually, and he might kill me, Magical Mystery Marvin is actually running camera 1 right now.
No! Really?
Yes, he is. He's running the camera. Take the up high shot, get a shot of him, walk out here a little bit.
Yeah,
show everybody.
Walk over here and let our crow shot.
That's him. There he is.
There he is with the headset. We had to pick on him. I'm sorry. I remembered Tony making the logo, and then I remembered
that amazing match with Magical Mystery Marvin.
How did that even come about? Did we just decide to show up one day to do
I think so. We were just
kinda
shooting some stuff. I think kind of like earlier, like when you and Rodney were testing the equipment out. We were testing out some equipment then, and we decided, we thought we had the lights and mics and cameras placed just right, so we decided to go ahead and let them have a match.
Well, hang on. Was this shortly before or after? I don't know if longtime TAJJ wrestling fans remember this from Ultimate
2001,
2002. Yeah. But Dunn's Transmission actually had a whole bunch of shelving units in there. And remember, we actually moved all those out.
Those are still in there.
I thought all those got moved out, or most of them got moved out. I remember one camera used to set up on there.
No, the shells were still in there when the thing with Tony and Marvin happened.
Okay. Well, I didn't know
it was around that time.
Yeah, it was around that time. But I remember that day. I remember us having to come and we did that. And wow, that was amazing.
Quite hilarious. Okay, well.
Talk about TAJJ Rewind. That's
a super rewind. I've got that footage. It will
air.
I don't have it here with me today, but when we go back and edit, if we have enough time,
we're going to put it right, follow my hand here, corner shot.
Some little box or something.
Yeah, it's going to be somewhere
do something.
in this area.
Quit doing that, because then you're going to make me have to put the box there and spend an extra hour editing.
How about on Kenny's face?
Over Kenny's face.
Well, to be fair, since we have such limited time.
Did you get a chance to watch the show? I made your little cheesy graphic.
Yes, I saw the cheesy graphic.
Shaking about
we got to have one for him. But in all fairness to Commissioner KC Gold, I do work for the man at MAW. You can check out MAW information at MidSouthAllStarWrestling.com. www.TIWF.org for TIWF out in Jackson, Tennessee. Great promotion there. And Adam Dunn, that is all I have to say, amazingly, since sometimes I don't know when to shut my mouth. Just like I keep
He's not talking anymore. Wow, we might just enjoy your blessed silence for the next minute.
And don't forget Saturday night. Tonight.
Again,
Saturday night.
Just like what happened last month, Rodney. You're here. You're our guest. Take that last minute.
Hey, don't forget tonight, Jackson. Great wrestling action. You need to be there.
And for KC Gold, who's not here now, who has stormed out of the building. Thank you, Rodney. And for Hot Rod Rodney Howard and Randy Cresswell, I'm Adam Dunn saying we'll see you next month on an all-new TAJJ Rewind. It's all, everybody.
Take care.
The Mid-South's only Saturday morning wrestling program is right here on CPN 17, TAJJ Rewind. Log on to TAJJRewind.com for all the latest news and information. You get local wrestling talk every Saturday morning at 11:30. You get exclusive interviews, and Rodney Howard puts people in the hot seat. Join Adam Dunn and Randy Cresswell Saturdays.